What is up, YouTube? I'm DaVinci, leader of the Renaissance crew, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. Today I got another video that kind of fascinated me. I figured it would be something that would be interesting for you guys to watch, especially if you're from the United States, because then you can pull something a little bit more personal from this video. This video is the 50 greatest inventions from each of the United States, or for each of the US states. So the greatest invention that's come out of a specific state. I don't know if, well, this is a brand new video, so I know that you probably might not have seen this. If you haven't, be sure to check out the original video first. This video was uploaded by Brightside. I am subscribed to them right now. You can go ahead and check out their channel. There's going to be a link at the end of this video that'll pop up inside the video. It should be around here somewhere. And it's like the last 30 seconds of the video. Just click on it. You'll go to their channel. You can subscribe to them, like their videos. They have a lot of different videos similar to this. And if you want to watch the original without me talking over it or pausing it or anything like that, there's a link in the description box down below. You can click on. That'll take you to the original video. Like I said, I always encourage you to check out the original before you watch the reaction. But let's go jump into this, see what it has to offer.
The United States of America, the land of the free, home of the brave, inventors. With 50 different states, an area of 3.8 million square miles, and a population of nearly 330 million people, you can just imagine how many inventions have come from the U.S. Let's take a look at some of the best ones from each state. Number 1. Alabama, the electric hearing aid. Miller Reese Hutchinson had a friend
I was
who
thinking of
became
another
deaf
invention
after
from
getting
Africa.
scarlet fever.
Not Africa, Alabama.
So Reese put all of his time and energy into trying to invent a hearing device. He finally succeeded in 1898, giving his friend the chance to hear again. Number 2. Alaska, the kayak. Now, when you think kayak, you think a nice summer day, paddling in the water and taking a swim when the sun gets too hot. This doesn't sound like something you'd be able to do in Alaska. But the truth is, the kayak wasn't invented for recreational purposes, but rather for hunting.
I guess when you think about it, the word kayak does have kind of like a Eskimo, Inuit type of sound to it. I guess that probably should have just come naturally.
Number 3,
At least I should have thought of that.
taser. The same man who sent men to the moon, Jack Cover, also developed the taser in his spare time. Taser is short for Thomas Swift Electric Rifle. Cover was fascinated by the stories about Tom Swift when he was a child, and that's why he decided to name the device after him. 4. Arkansas, sound cinema. If it weren't for a man named Friedman Owens, we might still be watching silent movies. He completely changed the movie-making business when he created the process of putting sound onto film.
Yeah, I don't think we'd still be watching soundless movies. At some point, somebody would have thought of something, but I mean, dude was an innovator.
We all thank you, Freeman. 5. California, Google. If you never use any of the other inventions that were created in the previously mentioned states, I know for a fact you're using Google like right now. Thanks to Sergey Brin and Larry
Google
Page,
owns
we're
YouTube,
able
so
to
yeah.
search the internet for almost anything we want to know or see. 6. Colorado, the wheel clamp. If you've ever parked somewhere
Fuck Colorado
you shouldn't
then.
have, and you came back to find a big clamp on your wheel, you can thank Frank Marag, who invented the wheel clamp for his friends in law enforcement. 7. Connecticut, can opener. Connecticut's very own Israel Warner created this device as an improvement to the method of using a hammer and a chisel to open cans. I must say, I do prefer her method to the old one. 8. Delaware,
Old style
Kevlar.
was style of men.
Stephanie
style
Quiller
of
created
ancient
Kevlar in
heroes.
1965. If you don't know what this is, well, it's actually the material that makes bulletproof vests, well, bulletproof. I know not everyone has a bulletproof vest, but I'm sure all the cops are pretty happy about this invention. 9. Florida, air conditioning. How appropriate. When we're sitting in the office on a hot summer's day, feeling the nice cool air blowing from the AC, we should thank John Gord,
cold as
who
hell in
invented
that
it
house.
in 1841. If it weren't for him, we'd be sitting in our own sweat all day. Number 10. Georgia, Coca-Cola. Did you know that Coca-Cola was first sold as a medicine before it became one of the best-selling sodas in the world? Pharmacist John Smith Pemberton.
And I believe it had cocaine in it, baby. I believe that's what they used to get everybody hooked onto it. I think they passed it off as like a medical drink when it was really just a drink that you got addicted to. I could be wrong, but you guys leave in the comment section if that's true or not.
Invented it in the 1800s. It was advertised as a medicine that was beneficial to women, whose inactive employment causes depression. I guess I drink a good amount of medicine every day then. Number 11. Hawaii, the surfboard. This invention, other than the kayak, fits the state it was created in. In this sunny beach vibe state, it would be unusual to not try surfing. Joseph Banks invented the surfboard in 1769. 12. Idaho, the television. The first blueprints for the television were
invention.
actually drawn on a chemistry classroom blackboard back in the early 1900s by Idaho's Philo Farnsworth. Philo, as a farm boy, got his inspiration for scanning an image as a series of lines from the back and forth.
Is he related to Fry and Hubert Farnsworth? There could be a connection between Futurama and real life. This could be it. It could exist, you guys.
Motion used to plow a field. 13. Illinois, the cell phone.
Another great
Invented
invention.
by Martin Cooper in 1973. The first cell phone was a Motorola, which was first known as the Brick for its massive size. He was the first in history to make a handheld cellular phone call in public. 14. Indiana, voicemail. If you want to thank Scott Jones for creating voicemail in the early 90s, please leave a message after the tone, or leave it in the comments after this video. This invention made him rich enough to retire at age 31. 15. Iowa, the tractor. Farmer John Froelich was tired of dragging his steam-powered harvester through his fields, so he decided to invent the world's most famous tractor, the John Deere, in 1890. This was the first tractor invented that was stable and had gears to move forwards and backwards. 16. Kansas, the helicopter. Kansas native Rex Manivel invented the helicopter in 1939.
No, I saw in a previous video they said Leonardo da Vinci created the helicopter. So are you telling me that you telling me videos on YouTube lie?
Although he never really got past the point of free flying without having the copter tied to the ground. In 1974, he donated the Manivel's helicopter to the Kansas Historical Society. 17. Kentucky, gas mask. Seeing how firefighters struggle to breathe while they were working, Garrett Morgan decided to invent what was known as a safety hood in 1914. This device was later advanced to carry its own air source.
Garrett Morgan, very prominent black figure in black history. Look him up. He invented a lot of other stuff. I believe he also invented he either invented the stoplight or like a beta version of the stoplight, something similar to that. He was kind of like the Benjamin Banneker of the 20th century.
Then earned it the modern name gas mask. 18. Louisiana, binocular microscope. John Riddell developed the first binocular microscope in 1852, which allows
I was expecting him to say something like the crawfish catcher or something like that. That's too advanced for Louisiana. And this is coming from somebody that spent a lot of time in Louisiana. But still, too advanced.
Researchers to look through the scope with both eyes. He was one of the first people to do an extensive microscopic investigation in which his focus was on the cholera disease. 19. Maine, the diving suit. Leonard Norcross successfully invented the first fully enclosed diving suit in 1834, which he called underwater armor. This suit allowed dreams to come true for all the people who wished that they could breathe underwater. 20. Maryland, latex medical gloves. Being the first chief of surgery at Johns Hopkins Hospital, William Stewart Halstead invented the latex gloves used by all doctors to prevent transferring germs to their patients. This was a massive turning point in medical history, as the transmission of germs was decreased significantly. 21. Massachusetts, Facebook. I'm sure all, or at least most of us, use this social media platform to share our pictures and thoughts and to communicate with our friends and family. Mark Zuckerberg first developed Facebook in his college dorm room at Harvard University in 2002. 22. Michigan. Assembly line. The assembly line is an efficient process for producing a mass of complex products. Ransom E. Olds was a pioneer in the American automotive industry and the first person to use the assembly line process to put together automobiles. Using this process helped him to quintuple the production of his factory. 23. Minnesota. Post-it notes. You know those little notes your wife or mom leaves you in your lunchbox telling
This state made the binocular microscope. This state made the diving suit. This state made TVs. This state made Google. This state made Facebook. This state made Post-it notes. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be picking on the state, but you gotta admit it's funny. The best thing coming out of your state is Post-it notes. I put tape on the back of paper. I deserve to be up here too.
you how much he loves you? Well, two scientists, Arthur Fry and Spencer Silver, created those post notes in Minnesota. 24. Mississippi. The lung transplant technique. James D. Hardy performed the very first human lung transplant
too advanced for the
at
state.
University Hospital in Jackson, Mississippi in 1963. This was a game changer in the medical field because it would mean an extension of life for many and an enhancement in life to others. 25. Missouri. Ice cream cones. One year at the St. Louis World's Fair, an ice cream vendor ran out of cups. Thinking fast, he asked a nearby waffle vendor to roll up some waffles for the ice cream. Thus came the invention of the ice cream cone we know today.
Interesting.
26. Montana. The Holter Monitor Test. Norman Holter developed this test in 1947, which was the pioneer of heart monitors. The Holter monitor is a small device that measures your heart rate and rhythm. 27. Nebraska. The ski lift. Imagine going skiing, but having to hike all the way up the mountain first. You'd probably be too worn out to even want to ski anymore. Because of James Curran, that isn't necessary, thanks to his invention of the ski lift in 1936. 28. Nevada. Blue jeans. Don't know what to wear? What do you put on? Jeans, of course. Levi Strauss invented this iconic piece of clothing, the blue jeans, in 1873. 29. New Hampshire. The washing machine. We should all give a big thanks to Nathaniel Briggs, who invented the washing machine. Well, unless
I know I'm talking about the other entry, but as far as blue jeans are concerned, it's funny because Levi's are still considered like the top or one of the top brands when it comes to blue jean manufacturers. It's funny because when you think about other stuff that are like the people that pioneered a specific thing, they're not really that big or they're not really known that much. Like the first place that created a hamburger, we don't really know them. McDonald's wasn't the first to make a hamburger, but they're probably the most popular. You look at specific types of foods, you look at specific even like car brands, like Ford isn't the number one car in the world. Just about anything that like created something, somebody has taken that motto and improved on it. Whereas like Levi's, they're still like one of the top jean manufacturers in the world, even above like everybody else. Now I'm sure there are probably some like really expensive designer jeans that are probably like the number one things you can get in the world, but Levi's are probably like the McDonald's of blue jeans. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Washing machine. We should all give a big thanks to Nathaniel Briggs, who invented the washing machine. Well, unless you enjoy washing your clothes in the tub. 30. New Jersey. The light bulb. Most of us probably know that Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. What we all don't know is that this invention happened in his laboratory, which was in Menlo Park, New Jersey. 31. New Mexico. The clean room. In 1962, Willis Whitfield invented the clean room. This idea entailed a ceiling-to-floor forced air system to protect experiments from being exposed to humidity, microbes, and dust. This invention earned him the nickname Mr. Clean. Clean rooms are used today to manufacture just about anything, from screen prints to
just have to shave his hair
semiconductors.
bald.
32. New York, the credit card. This invention again suits the state where it was invented.
Yeah, it matches.
The credit card, of course, was invented in one of the biggest shopping spots on the planet, New York. John Biggins invented it in 1946. I'm guessing he had a bit of a shopping addiction. 33. North Carolina, the airplane. Wilbur and Orville, who are known as the Wright brothers, are American aviation pioneers who were the first to invent a man-powered flying machine in 1903.
I think that, because I'm from Ohio, I think Ohio and North Carolina kind of go back and forth on where the invention of the airplane came in. I'm not sure if the Wright brothers were born in Ohio or what, but I do know that like Ohio does try to take claim for, it might not have been an airplane, it might just be flight in general. One of them Ohio likes to try to take claim for, and I think they're trying to find a technicality to get to it. But either way, I just know that there's like a small dispute.
They named it the Wright Flyer. If it weren't for these two, fixed-wing power flight might not have ever existed. 34. North Dakota, cream of wheat. This is a type of breakfast which is, as the name gives away, made out of wheat.
Sugar and butter.
By wheat millers in Grand
Only way to eat
Forks,
it.
and in 1893 made its debut at the World's Fair in Chicago. 35. Ohio, the three-color traffic signal. Garrett Morgan was known for many amazing inventions, one of which is the three-color traffic signal we use in our everyday lives. He completely revolutionized driving as we know it. After all, can you drive anywhere without hitting a traffic light? 36. Oklahoma, the electric guitar.
Really?
If you were ever wondering whom completely transformed the rock and roll industry, it was Bob Dunn. He was the first person to electrify his guitar. He was even elected to the Steel Guitar Hall of Fame back in 1992. 37. Oregon, the computer mouse. The computer mouse you use to control the cursor on your computer was actually invented in Oregon by Douglas Engelbart back
it's like
in
the attachment for the Super
1964.
Nintendo.
Engelbart initially named it Bug, which I think is also a suitable name since it does kind of look like a bug. 38. Pennsylvania, the fire hydrant. Frederick Graff changed the old pipe system of waterworks from wood to iron. His work was so good that he supplied details of the pipe system to other states in the U.S.
It took people that long to figure that out.
Dogs across America are thankful for Mr. Graff's invention. 39. Rhode Island, diners. If you love eating burgers and drinking coffee at your favorite diner, Walter Scott is the man to thank. In 1872, Scott invented a horse-drawn restaurant, which was the birth of diners. He was the father of the first of many diners loved by America.
The hell is that stuff
40.
on the bottom?
South Carolina, the submarine. The Confederate Army manufactured the first successful submarine in South Carolina. A submarine is the only underwater watercraft that can be used for transportation. This was a groundbreaking invention for the military. 41. South Dakota, the cyclotron. We've all heard of the cyclotron, right? Well, only some of us of a certain age do, and it was invented in South Dakota by Ernest Lawrence in 1932. It's an early form of particle accelerator, if that clears anything up. 42.
I have to look more
Tennessee,
into it.
Cotton candy. Cotton candy was born in Nashville, Tennessee. The inventors were John Wharton and William Morrison, who initially named it Fairy Floss. I kind of like the original name. Don't know why they changed it. 43. Texas, the electric typewriter. One day, while typing at a snail's pace, almost falling asleep, James Field Smathers realized that there was a great need to increase the speed of typing. To him, electric power seemed to be the obvious answer. In 1912, his invention of the electric typewriter was no longer a dream. 44. Utah, airbags. In the 1980s, George Kirchhoff perfected the invention of a bag which inflates quickly and then deflates during a crash. This was the invention of airbags, which first saved lives in Utah and later all around the
And then
world.
took lives when they come out at a certain
45.
angle.
Vermont, paddle wheel steamer. Samuel Morey invented this steam-driven paddle boat in 1826. The most important characteristic of
See, I
this
would expect
boat was
Mississippi
the
to
paddle
create
wheel,
something like
which
this.
was actually an extremely old idea, dating back to the 1700s. This boat was
Louisiana.
famous on the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. 46. Virginia, camouflage. Roanoke's James
I can see
Crumley
this. This
invented
would make a little
camouflage in
sense.
1978 as hunting gear. He had hunted and fished with his father since he was a child. Nowadays, we don't only wear camo when going hunting, it's actually become a great fashion trend. 47. Washington, the jumbo jet. In 1969, a huge aircraft as tall as a 6-story building was invented in Everett, Washington. This aircraft, that could seat 374 passengers, can now be seen at Seattle's Museum of Flight. It amazes me that such a massive object can actually stay in the sky. 48. West Virginia, the steamboat. No one really knew who James Rumsey was until in 1787.
See, this one makes a little more sense. Only thing is, like I said, I would associate this more with states that are like along the Mississippi River. So Louisiana, Mississippi, places like that. Oklahoma. Well, I don't know if Oklahoma's on the Mississippi River or not. My geography knowledge on the United States off the top of my head isn't that great, especially around the Midwest. But if I got a map, I can look at it. We have maps now. I don't need to know half this shit.
When he presented the first steamboat in front of a massive crowd of prominent people, he showed them the pump driven by steam power, ejecting a stream of water from the stern of the boat and pushing the boat forward. 49. Wisconsin, the spacesuit. The man known as the spacesuit father, Siegfried Hansen, was the inventor of the Mark I spacesuit in the 1950s. This
They just
suit
took
had
Maine's
bendable
invention
arms,
and one
a
upped it.
solid torso, and it permitted the person wearing it to use the external environment. And 50. Wyoming, the garage door opener. Elmer Lovejoy in Wyoming invented the first garage door opener in 1918. This might not be a necessity, but I would much rather just press a button to open the garage than have to get out of the car for it each time. So I
still have
guess
to
it
do it,
does
so
make life a little
You have to do
easier,
it too,
doesn't it?
goddammit.
Well, which of these inventions do you think is the best? Let me know down in the comments. If you learned something new today, then give this video a like and share it with a friend. But hey, don't go inventing the next big thing just yet. We have over 2,000 cool videos for you to check out.
Yeah, like I said, Brightside have a ton of videos similar to this, like just videos based on information. Like you get a lot of knowledge that you probably wouldn't really be thinking about going to search up or anything, but you'll see a video and be like, this looks interesting, and you might learn something that you never really knew you wanted to know, but you never knew that you needed to know something so bad. Anyway, that's been this video. I want to thank you guys for coming through. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. I do ask that you go and check out Brightside's channel. Like I said, there will be a link over here that'll pop up that you can click on and go to their channel. The original link is in the description box down below. If you haven't seen it, make sure you click on it and give them a view so they can continue to make the content that we all enjoy. And I wish Ohio had something better than the goddamn 3-light stoplight, but whatever. I guess I'll take it. There are other inventions. I'm gonna go look up other inventions and see which ones I consider to be the best. But anyway, with this video, that is it. I got a couple more videos I got planned, and I'm sure that you'll pretty much enjoy every last one of them. So I'm DaVinci. You just been a little bit more enlightened, and I'm gonna give you the deuces. Peace.